Every week, without fail, Thomas drove into the national forest near his small town in Oregon. He parked his old car. He walked slowly along familiar trails. He listened to the birds. He listened to the wind. He talked to no one. The forest never asked him questions. It never reminded him of birthdays or anniversaries. It never asked why he was alone. In the forest, Thomas could simply exist. That morning began like any other. The air was cool. The ground was soft beneath his boots. Sunlight slipped quietly through the tall trees. Thomas moved at his usual pace, careful and calm. His heart felt heavy, but steady. Then he heard something. At first it was so faint he thought he imagined it. A low sound, a painful sound, not a growl, not a bark, a cry. Thomas stopped walking. His heart tightened. The sound came again. Weak, broken. It did not sound angry. It sounded afraid. Carefully, Thomas followed the sound deeper into the trees. He stepped around fallen branches. He moved slowly, not wanting to scare whatever was there. And then he saw it. A dog lay on the forest floor. It was not a wild animal. It was a simple dog, alone. Its leg was badly injured. Blood had dried into the fur, dark and stiff. Its chest moved fast as it breathed. Fear filled its body. The dog tried to stand. Its legs shook. It collapsed back onto the ground. Then it looked at Thomas. Its eyes were wide. They were not fierce. They were not angry. They were terrified. Thomas froze where he stood. His heart began to pound. He knew better than to rush toward an injured animal. Pain makes animals afraid. Fear makes them unpredictable. But Thomas also knew something else. If he turned away, if he walked back to his car, this dog would not survive. Slowly, Thomas raised his hands. He made himself look small. "It's okay," he said softly. "I won't hurt you." The dog trembled. Its body shook as if the ground itself were cold. Thomas stayed exactly where he was. He did not move closer. He did not turn away. Minutes passed. The forest grew silent. Even the birds seemed to pause. The dog's breathing slowed. Its head lowered onto the ground. Exhaustion had won. Thomas felt his chest ache. Carefully, gently, he took off his jacket. It was old, worn thin at the elbows. He placed it on the ground near the dog, just close enough to offer warmth. Then he backed away again. His hands shook as he reached for his phone. He called the animal rescue number saved there. "This is Thomas Reed," he said quietly. "There's an injured dog in the forest. It's bad." The voice on the other end was calm. Help was on the way, but it would take time. Until then, someone needed to stay. Thomas sat down on a fallen log. He rested his hands on his knees, and he waited. The dog watched him, every movement, every breath. It did not close its eyes completely. It did not relax fully, but it did not try to run. Thomas began to speak. His voice was low. Understanding that silence can sometimes feel too heavy, he spoke about his wife, about how she used to wait for him at the door, about how quiet the house felt now. He spoke about his students, about children who struggled to read, about children who grew into adults, about how strange it felt to grow old alone. The dog listened. Its ears twitched. Its eyes softened. Perhaps it did not understand the words, but it understood the feeling. Loneliness recognizes loneliness. After nearly an hour, footsteps approached. Rescue workers arrived quietly. Carefully, they spoke in gentle voices. They moved slowly toward the dog. The dog tensed, fear returning to its eyes. But then it looked at Thomas. He stayed calm. He stayed still. Perhaps the dog sensed something. Perhaps it knew this man would not let harm come. The rescue workers sedated the dog, lifted it gently onto a stretcher. One of them turned to Thomas. Her eyes were serious. "If you hadn't stayed," she said softly, "this dog wouldn't have made it." Thomas nodded. "I couldn't leave," he replied. "I know what it feels like to be left." Weeks passed. Thomas returned to his quiet house. But something had changed. He thought about the dog every day. He wondered if it was warm, if it was safe, if it had survived. Then one afternoon, his phone rang. "The dog survived surgery," the rescuer said. "It's healing well." Thomas closed his eyes, his chest filled with something he had not felt in months. Relief. For the first time in a long time. He smiled. 3 months later, Thomas was invited to visit. The rescue center sat near the edge of the forest. The dog stood in a fenced clearing, stronger, healthier. Its fur was clean. Its eyes were bright. When it saw Thomas, it stopped. just for a moment. Its tail wagged once, slow, careful. Then it turned and ran toward a handler waiting nearby. Thomas felt something lift from his chest. He did not need more than that. He understood. But the story did not end there. 2 weeks later, Thomas returned to the same trail. The forest welcomed him like an old friend, but his steps slowed. His head began to spin. His vision blurred. Thomas reached for a tree, missed, and collapsed. The forest tilted around him. Darkness crept in. Somewhere nearby, a sound echoed. Footsteps, then barking, loud, urgent. A park ranger later described something strange. A dog had been seen near Thomas's body, refusing to leave, barking again and again, running toward the trail, drawing attention. Help arrived in time. Thomas survived. At the hospital, a nurse smiled gently. "You won't believe this," she said, "but they think a dog helped save your life." Thomas stared out the window toward the forest, his eyes filled with quiet tears. "I believe it," he whispered. Today, Thomas still walks the forest. He still listens to birds. He still moves slowly, but he no longer feels alone, because sometimes, when we save a life, the forest remembers, and sometimes it gives that life back to us. Dear friend, thank you for taking the time to follow the story. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to support us.